and there is I think, a bit of pullback off the pullback, right? I mean, so the high was made at 258 at about 18,085, and there is a sharp kind of fall that we are starting to see now as we get into the last few minutes. This is all post 3 p.m. Exactly post 3 p.m. that we've seen this sharp pullback on the indices. So now this is what, almost 70 points, 75 odd points, which is coming through on the Nifty. Let's look at the Bank Nifty as well. If you've got something similar, yeah, on the Bank Nifty as well, post exactly 3 o'clock, there is a sharp pullback that has emerged. Let's look at the mid-cap indices and the small-cap indices, and then we will get in Siddarth Bhamre, who is with us. A mid-cap index, not so much, although it's off the highs, and we've got the small-cap index, which is doing something similar, but of course lesser degree as compared to Nifty and Bank Nifty, which is much sharper. All right, Siddarth Bhamre is head of research at Religare Broking. He's joining us. Siddarth, good to have you with us here. Thank you very much. You know, if you have a view on the market near term, do share it with us. But you have 5 picks, right? Which I think you want to highlight: Maruti, Voltas, Exide, V-Guard, and Birla Soft. Let's start there. Let's start with Maruti in terms of why you like that name and how's the setup.
Yeah, so Prashant, firstly, a word on market. So last time, fortnight back we spoke and you were insisting on giving some buy calls, and we were of the opinion that market is too richly valued at this point of time. And at that point of time, there was a theme that let's invest more in mid cap and small cap because the rally is going to come there. And we were of the strong opinion that we should continue to buy what has done well rather than trying to hunt something which has not moved. And now we are talking, 800, 900 points below those levels. Nothing much has changed. Fundamentals are still positive. But positive fundamental doesn't mean that, you buy at any levels. And we still remain of an opinion that this market might have some leg on the downside. And one has to be very careful in what they're choosing at this point of time. So because there has been a decent correction, now we have come out with our New Year report with 5 stocks. It's a blend of, it has a medium-term outlook, medium-term touch to it. And as you mentioned, those 5 names, Maruti is first name over there. So I think we have spoken about Maruti before. All I want to say over here is that the sales numbers are great. And the percentage of utility vehicle sale in Maruti is going higher, which obviously augurs well for the margins. And one comment I want to pass on over here is don't look at just share price. This is the lowest valuation Maruti is trading at in last 5 years. If you look at 1 year PE forward band, so price may not have corrected, but valuations are quite attractive, and this is one of the good buy at current levels. And we are anticipating that soon the stock would touch a 5-digit figure. The other names we want to highlight over here is from consumer durable space, Prashant. Now, if you remember what was happening in this market when post-lockdown, when there was this work from home theme which was going on, everybody went gung-ho on this theme, whether it's Voltas, Havells, or other names. And people spoke about how there would be huge demand and huge spending which would happen. And it did happen. But then that frenzy took valuations at very high multiples. Case in point, Voltas at one point of time was trading at more than 70 times P multiple. Now we have seen correction in prices. Now we have seen earnings catching up, and Voltas is back again into that comfortable zone of around 30-35 P 1 year forward earning. And that's the reason I believe that the downside for consumer durable names like Voltas is not very high from current levels. And we can again now see a durable growth happening both in earnings as well as stock price. So that's the reason it's buy. V-Guard is also from the same segment. And there we are seeing that, in fact, all these themes, Prashant, they are moving from not just being a consumer durable, but also into getting into home appliances where margins are higher. And that is where, margin expansion, PE expansion story would come into play. Case in point, V-Guard, which has more of, South market, has acquired Sunflames, which has more of North market and more into home appliances. So these stories and numbers are now matching, and that exuberance is out. So these stocks are a decent buy at this point of time.
Right, we take your point. So just for our viewers, benefit, we'll repeat those names. Your top 5 picks, and I presume these are in the order of your preference: Maruti, Suzuki, Voltas, Exide, V-Guard, and Birla Soft. So these are the top 5 picks from Religare for 2023. But let's move away from 2023 and talk about here and now. Siddarth, you've been tracking the F&O space very closely as well. There is this jostle for 18,000 that we're looking at after the declines that we saw all of last week. A bit of a bounce back now. What are your thoughts on where the index and individual stocks go from here on?
I think there's a room for downside, as I was mentioning, not just from valuation perspective, but also from futures and options. We are seeing that FIs who started this series with 77% longs in index futures, it's down to 44%, and there is room on the downside. At the same time, we are seeing that. Let's accept the fact that today's bounce back is FIs minus and DIs plus. FIs are not there in market, DIs are playing the game, so retail is there. So I'm not reading too much into this bounce back. This bounce back probably can stretch, for a couple of days, can take you to 18,200 or so. But the overall data, the way things have been shaping up, is not very positive. Also, the other factors like crude oil prices, yes, there is a bounce back, but we don't believe that this bounce back would sustain. Just like equity is bouncing back, crude has bounced back. We might see further correction there. We are also not very optimistic on what's happening to dollar index. Maybe at 103, 104, it is taking some support, but quite likely the dollar index would correct, and this again doesn't augur well for equities in short term. We are not talking about Mangalam that there is going to be a bear market. What I'm trying to say is, if you look at bird eye view, this market since last 1 year has done absolutely nothing. It's in a range. You need to be very smart that when you get at lower levels, take a contra bet, see where valuations are fine, and go long. At 18,500 plus levels, your valuations are not supportive. FIs are not going long despite markets are going up. You don't have to be long. So I'm not saying to short this market. All I'm saying is wait for attractive levels to win this market rather than being caught on the wrong foot.
Stay on, Siddarth. Need to get into a very short break. As we do that, listen in to K.K. Mistry, Vice Chairman and CEO of HDFC